Today, I'm going to talk about a really important subject, and that is social media, mental health, and suicidal thoughts. Now, the reason I've decided to bring up this subject is because I've recently come across some research that's been done by the American Psychological Association at Stanford School of Law that's shown a 2024 report has found that teenagers spend nearly 5 hours daily on social media platforms and that those with the highest usage are significantly more likely to report poor mental health, with 41% of them rating their mental health as poor or very poor compared to 23% of those with lower usage. It's also found that the highest users increased rates of suicidal thoughts, self-harm, and body image issues. Now, this is an issue that I didn't have growing up. So, and I can obviously see how it's crept into my world, but luckily, my younger years, I didn't have to deal with any of this. But this is the reality for the next generation, folks. This is what they're dealing with. Now, just imagine for all of that time that they don't spend um, with stable influences, that they are pretty much opening the door to, well, you don't even know what. You don't know what. Could be trolls, could be pedophiles, could be all sorts of malevolent forces on the internet. And unfortunately, it's not really properly regulated for kids these days. But then, not just kids, folks. I mean, this is creeping into everybody's life right now. Social media. Now, from an energy point of view, folks, and this is the stuff that really interests me. What we feed into our mind is what we get out. Is how we and the litmus test of that, the litmus test to know whether you're feeding your mind good stuff is how you feel, because the heart is the ultimate judge of the head. The heart is the jury, the head is the judge, the heart is the jury. So this is lunatic gene principle 101. We have a head and a heart, and the two energies are quite often separate. And what we feed into our head influences our heart. Now, heart disease was way prevalent before social media. So even before we had social media, there's no coincidence, folks. I'm here to tell you that it's no coincidence that heart disease is so high because people generally feed their head with stuff that doesn't help them. Now, I've talked about the symptoms of stuff like this and the lasting effects, the stuff that you can actually monitor. So if you want to know how unaligned your head and heart is, well, just take a second now and just work out, how do you feel? How do you feel right now? That is the ultimate litmus test of whether your head and heart are aligned. Now, if you're feeling the joy in every moment of your existence, then the odds are you're probably not watching this video. You've probably been drawn on this because obviously there's some issue between um, social media and mental health, and it's affecting yours. So let's just tell you a little story here. So about 3 years ago, somebody hacked my Facebook account, and it was terribly traumatic for me because I spent 15 years uploading posts, stories, content, media, photos. It really, I mean, a lot of my life was on there. People had shared photos from where I'd been out and about, and overnight, I lost it. I lost it. I lost my social media, my Facebook account. Furthermore, I tried to get in touch with Facebook to tell them about this. Can I have my account back? And let's just say customer service on Facebook leaves a lot to be desired, folks. It's almost like an AI bot had control of my life. Now, I could complain about it, which I did for a few days. I certainly complained about it. But then suddenly, from an energy perspective, it suddenly dawned on me that maybe this was a good thing. Yes, there was a lot of people I was connected with from traveling around the world, people who I've since lost contact with. But there's two aspects to this. The first one is if people really wanted to find me, they would find me. And the second thing is it was like an addiction. I would imagine the withdrawal that I had from Facebook was exactly the same symptoms of any addiction of coming off something. And it made me realize how addicted that we are to social media, to get your fix, to get your dopamine hit. How many people liked my post today? And the problem is that your well-being now, your mental health is now subject. You're handing the keys to your mental health to other people for posts, for likes, for validation. And the reason that we talk about energy healing, energy medicine, the reason why it's so important in your world is because it's all about self-empowerment. It's all about teaching yourself a set of tools that can raise your vibration, can uplift you, and can help people. The problem that most people have on this path is that they don't help themselves. This was the problem I had. I went into energy work, I went into healing because I thought I needed to help other people. It wasn't about me. I didn't need healing. Well, of course I did, but I did. That's what I thought at the time. It's not me. I don't need this. This is for the people that I work with, some of whom were on death's door. And this is another issue in life, this comparison. This comparison. We're always comparing ourselves to people. The comparison I made at the time when I first went into the healing world is that I'm looking after people on death's door. And on that basis, my health and well-being is in pretty good shape. I was playing football about 5 times a week. I was football or circuit training or going out. I mean, I was massively active. I was in great physical shape. And I had a vibrant social life. I used to look forward to every day. I even used to look forward to work. I even enjoyed my job. And the reason I enjoyed my job is because I chose the people I worked with 90% of the time. And I worked night shifts. It was stress-free. It was easy. It was easy work for me because I knew what I was doing. It was stress-free. And I had a great social life in between that. So I had managed to find that flow where I didn't even take my health seriously. And here's the spoiler alert, folks. The moment that we hit the zone where we're not taking our mental health seriously is the moment that we start to slip. Now, my life at that time, when I first went into healing, I think it was pretty good. I mean, from a vibrational point of view, I was feeling good. I was loving my life. I was loving what I was doing, and I wanted to help others, which is all good. All of these are tick, 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 tick. These are all good things. But there was the complete denial that I needed any healing, that I needed any interventions to my mental health. And whilst at that point in time, I could say, well, that was probably justified then. It's a very slow process of slipping down. One day you get an injury, maybe not as active. The next, suddenly you fall out with someone at work. The next thing, maybe you don't love your job as much. And all of these things happened to me. I ended up leaving the NHS. I ended up going into business for myself because of like the Chinese drip torture. Little incidents at work were bringing me out of alignment. And if you don't have practices, you don't have practices to regulate that, then your mental health can go. Now, just imagine adding social media to that. And you don't have to imagine this, folks, because you're probably guilty of it. On my post, how many people have liked it today? I would imagine anyone that posts stuff is guilty of that. But the point being, what does that say about your mental health? What if suddenly one day the algorithm of whatever social media platform that you're on suddenly wasn't showing as many people your posts? And this is what's happening, folks. This is what's happening today. Anyone with an unpopular opinion suddenly finds that the algorithm doesn't love them as much anymore. And what does that do to your mental health? So the reason that I bring this up, folks, is because it's our duty to regulate our mental health from social media and to prepare. Why am I posting this? To set your energy status. Why am I posting this? What will happen if no one likes it? What will I do if no one likes it? How will I respond if no one likes it? And what this is about, this is preparing for the worst so that anything beyond that is better. And that is part of the energy work as well. Ask yourself, what is the reason I'm posting this? Is it a business reason? Is it a personal reason? And if it's a personal reason, folks, then that is what I'm targeting here. Because what we post for our business, that's an almost different conversation. But when we're going on social media, we're doing personal posts. Ask yourself, why are you doing that? And what if nobody likes it? How does it impact you? How do you bounce back from that? So, what I'm going to suggest today is that before you post anything on social media, even business or personal, just tune in. There's a little exercise you can do, and it just means switch everything off, even just for a minute, and tune in, move your energy into your heart, and just notice, how does it feel? How does what I'm going to post, how does it feel? Does it feel aligned? Do it what? And here's another question to ask yourself. Why am I doing this? What do I want people to know today? What do I want them to take out of this? Why am I posting this? Now, this is important because you have to be comfortable. I want you to get comfortable. If no one likes this, is this a good resource to have out there? Is this what I want people to see? If no one liked it, would I delete it? There's a question. There's a question, folks. And if you can answer that before you post, that will go somewhere to putting that regulation in place. But ultimately, the reason that I say this is A, the next generation is being adversely affected by social media, and we need to monitor that at least. And it's not just B, it's not just the next generation, that we are suddenly being infected with this as well. How much is it affecting you and your energy? And C, what if there was no social media? What if your account got hacked and you lost it overnight? How would you feel about that? Now, luckily, I don't have to imagine that because that's happened to me, folks. And it could happen again because all of these platforms, they control us. They could delete my account overnight. I could say something that they don't like. It could realistically happen. And here's a question that I want to ask you if you're still watching this video. What platforms do you use? And is there a platform where your information is safer or it's less likely you're going to be deleted? Because the way that I'm seeing things now, Rumble seems to be the way to go. They seem to be the place that doesn't universally ban people with unpopular opinions. But that's maybe, folks, another conversation for another day. The bottom line here is that we need to get our heads right. And the reason, the way that you know that you've got your head right is because what you're going to do in your head, does it align with your heart? Do you feel good? What you're going to post, does it feel good in your heart? And if you can sit there even for a minute and notice how it feels before you post, then that's going to be a significant move in the right direction. Anyway, folks, that's my random rambling, especially for parents with kids to be aware of this dynamic, which I find a little bit alarming. But this, unfortunately, is the new addiction. This is the addiction that I believe is probably the most dangerous one now. And it's the one that we need to keep on top of as healers, as light workers, as empaths, folks, because we can easily tune into other people's energy. And there's a lot of dodgy energy out there at the moment. So keep your energy to your own, keep watching content, keep posting stuff that makes you feel good. And if you can do that, then you're definitely moving in the right direction. And if you're new to the channel and you're finding me for the first time, then I'm here to help you with insights, with exercises, with connections, and things that can make you feel better, especially if you're an empath, a healer, a light worker. And here to build the community and grow the channel so that we can all connect together. And if you would like a piece of that, then please do subscribe to the channel and like the video. Leave a comment by all means. And if you'd like more of my random ramblings, then there's a little video there to give you another taste of what I'm about. But thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me today. And good luck on your social media journey.